What's good, everybody? Welcome to the End Goal Podcast, episode 10, the last episode of the season. And I told you guys, the last episode of the season, I'll be bringing you guys some fun stuff. And the fun stuff has arrived. The actual fun in my friend group is Mr. Canvas right here.
Greetings and salutations.
I've known Canvas for about 8 years now. It's been 8 years, yeah. Freshman year of college. 5 years of college and 3 years of work life. 2015.
Damn.
Right?
That's a long time.
It's been a minute. He didn't like me at first. He thought I was a bitch. So I kept like trying to be friends with him, and I was like, "Yo, you want to dance? You want to teach me how to dance?" He was like, "No, you suck ass." And then gradually he taught me how to dance. And then we've been brothers for like the past.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that moment when like a sensei would meet somebody and they gotta like test them through the waters and be like, "Nah, fuck you." And it was like one of those ones. I was like, "All right, you are worthy." Damn, 8 years old. That's fucking crazy.
It's a minute, but why don't I've also known you for 8 years. I've known you like throughout the entire time. I wanted to ask you first and foremost, like who, like for the people who don't know you, like who are you right now?
I feel like this is funny because I recently did an interview for this job and they asked me the same question.
Yeah.
They were saying like, what do you do? Introduce yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And low-key, I feel like every time someone asks that question, I always go straight to like what I do for work.
Yeah.
But who I am as of today, if we're just going through that basis, I would say I'm an aspiring DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a veteran in dance.
Mm-hmm.
I am also taking on many little different side ventures.
Yep.
So a hobbyist.
Right.
In terms of sewing, in terms of Twitch streaming, in terms of just a lot of different arts, videography still even photography.
Yeah.
So
It's beast with the camera still. I
beast with the camera. Cut that frame within frame shit. Hey,
I'm leaving this in.
Hey, MGG, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. We already know it's all love, bro. That shit's so funny. But nah, man. I feel like as of who I am today, I'm still the same like growing person I was like 10 years or 8 years ago when I met you.
Yeah.
Except of it being all into dance, it's kind of now spread into a lot of different things now. It's not all into dance anymore.
Which is weird for me to think about because when I first met you, you were already like always improving, always growing, always doing things, and you're just doing the same thing now, just on a different scale. And it's weird to hear from you that's like it's not everything's dance, because every time I talk to you, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go train real quick, or like, yeah, I just got done training a little bit, or yeah, I just got done with a couple of rounds, or like 10 p.m. at night, yeah, I'm gonna just go to the session. I'm like, bro, go to bed.
That was me.
But no, now, yeah, you've been doing a lot of different things, and like, are you managing it?
I feel like I'm managing pretty well. Like, I have this thing where like I kind of plan everything day to day.
Yeah.
So so I take everything literally day by day.
Yeah.
So every time I wake up, I try to gauge like what I'm gonna do for the day and pretty much frame around it.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we scheduled this.
Right.
So like you said, whatever time, and then I'm gonna schedule around it. I always try to put all the responsibility up front.
Yes.
So then I could play hard after. So
I agree.
a lot of managing, I feel like, is pretty easy because, I mean, I have my 9 to 5 schedule. I have my, like, responsibilities if, like, I need to take Delisa somewhere or some shit. Like, I have that clocked out. So managing's pretty nice. I will just say I don't have as much free time when everything's spread, like, so distant. Or everything's, like, I'm doing so much at once. So it's kind of hard for me to, like, make extreme growth in one, just because it's like in dance. When I was just focusing on dance, it's like, bro, I can do this all day, every day. But now it's like, kind of like my attention span is kind of like not dwindled, but I'm so invested in.
You're spread thin.
Yeah,
you are. I feel like you are spreading yourself like out wide a lot now.
I like it though.
Um,
No, all play, baby. Play that shit. No pause. What the fuck?
Nah, but like I get that. I think I told you I've been doing the same thing, and just recently I said I dropped off of content a little bit. I've been doing the podcast because this consistent thing is actually nice, but I dropped off like the book content just because I was like, I need to focus on these other things. But I think you're in the season of life right now where it's like you just do everything, and then it's like throw like so much at yourself and see what sticks. Like DJing might stick longer than sewing might stick, and then you're not trying to like pursue streaming. You're just doing it as fun, like on the side. You'll just like put the camera on and just hang out with friends and stream. And so I think you have a pretty decent like level or pretty decent like spread of things. I know you say you don't have as much free time, but like, do you still like get time? Like, what do you do as free time then? Like, what does free time mean to you?
You know, yeah, I don't get a lot of free time, but I think that's mostly because like my 9 to 5 takes a lot.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be part-time.
Yeah.
Contractually, I'm part-time. This is on camera. I'm supposed to be part-time. However, they've been putting me like fucking 37 hours. So.
Don't pay for that though?
I mean, it's paid for.
Okay.
It's paid for.
Okay.
Look, I'm getting the bread and
Okay.
it's paid for.
Okay.
Can't complain. But in terms of free time, that's where it's where like kind of like my Twitch is like suffering because like it's like I don't get enough time to myself, or it's not that I don't, but I would want more. I thrive under doing a lot of different shit.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes, you thrive under pressure for sure.
Yeah, I get kind of bored when it's just one thing, and that's me. I don't know if it's an ADHD thing, but I think for me what it is that like I'll get like a busy week of a 9 to 5, and then like on top of that I still have to go, like for example this week I had like almost 40 hours this week. I know to some people that's like week, bitch, that's week.
Yeah.
Nah, but like for me that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a part-timer, so it's a lot. And then like I do a bunch of other different shit part-time too. But I had like 40 hours this week, and then I also have to go to Houston to DJ in August 4th.
Ooh. Okay.
And then DJ has finally reached that threshold where it's like I'm not just doing it as a hobbyist now. Now I'm actually employed, so it's kind of a different thing now. It's made it there, which is a congratulations. We're gonna take a congratulations for that. I finally got employed as a DJ under a company, but with that being said, it's like it's no longer my own specific shows. It's like they have shows and I'm the one facilitating those shows.
Right.
So if they have like a Bollywood night, I'll have to go collect a shit ton of Bollywood.
You will be
music.
You will be messaging me.
Yeah, I will be. Ours, give me your fucking Spotify
100%.
playlist.
Like, here's my Spotify. Here, I usually like playlist. Here's my mix on YouTube. Like, just scroll through that shit.
You come into the room, I'm already in your fucking computer. Like, I got a USB connected to your computer. I bust out the window.
I see the loading button going. It's like 89%, 99%.
I'm just fucking sweating in here. Like, please, Ars, I need it.
I come, where's my laptop? I see Cam's like running out with my laptop to his car. Like, I'm gonna be back with this later.
I took your brace too. Like it's just shit that's personal.
My entire merch line is just gone. I need this for the event. I'm gonna give it out to people. Free advertising.
You see me do like a IG reel of me modeling their fucking clothes. I'm doing the same transitions too. I got a piece.
With you.
I got a book that got only like 2 pages.
A piece of paper folded together.
I'm fucking dead. Oh my god.
No, I'm so excited that DJ is doing well for you though, because I mean, it's really interesting. And for those of you who don't know, Canvas has obviously he's a vet in dance, and so for the past, I think maybe around 2018, 2019, up until like last year, if not, I think or this year, you were teaching. He was running classes at a studio, and then he didn't like the studio space, so he ran classes for free, just in a free space, just because like he just wanted to run these classes or run these sessions rather. First it was classes, then it was just like a free like session for people to come in, enjoy and dance, and he still tried to push people at these sessions. And so I remember you said, you know, you did that for so long that you got good at it, and then you felt like you made it in like the session space because like people were coming to your sessions. You were always like, when's Alan's sessions? Wednesday nights, it was a thing, and that was like, when it comes to work, I had it scheduled on my work calendar 5 to 7. You don't bother Arish, because I'm at session, and it says like Arish at dance on my calendar. For them, it's just like a blocked out time. But it's like Arish at dance every Wednesday night. And that was like my It was like me going to like the community watering hole, just like hanging out, saying hi to people, because then I would just come back and then work all week or work on my own stuff. So you really made it then. And I think it's really dope how you took all of your like music experience at the sessions, and then you just say, okay, let me just get behind the speakers now.
Yeah.
Let me just get behind the music full time for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you were DJing at these sessions. I do love our community giving you the opportunities to spin at a couple of places. I'm sure that experience really helped. And then now getting hired. That shit's dope. And it feels like it was quicker than the session thing though too. Because like you spent like a couple of years like doing the class and the sessions, and then that like gradually built up into like Alan's sessions, or the free up sessions, and then just in the past year you've been like DJing now, right? Like it's been pretty less than a year or like a year now.
I think it's been about about a year and some change.
Right.
Since I like stopped doing the sessions and like started focusing on like putting all my eggs into DJing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
that's just dope.
A point to what you said earlier, yeah, like truly, thank you to like, if I had a moment to just share gratitude, thank you to like Barney, Summer, and even Battlegrounds or Real Street Jams for like putting me on. Like those experiences, especially the Barney one, like bro, we did like 4 tournaments or like four jams, like straight through, even like 2 rounds at like top 4 or whatever. So having all that experience helped tremendously.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. Damn, I want to say some shit, but
you can say I'll cut it out.
No, I'm gonna speak some shit. Let me just say this, like even for the DJ company that like I'm going for, I love the dude that I shadowed behind. He's a cool dude, great dude, but this man didn't know not a damn thing about DJing. So it's honestly so easy, like how it was for me to transition onto a company, because all they were doing, if anyone knows anything about DJing, like you load the track in, you have all your knobs and filters and stuff, and then of course you have the fader. All he was doing was just fading shit, like as it was ending, not even like beat matching or nothing, as it was ending. So I knew more than the guy that I was shadowing, and so I think this just goes to show, once again, how I got hired was also very weird. Like they reached out to me on some Illuminati type shit. Like they just literally
foul canvas.
Yeah, no, I'm so serious. I think it was Ramon. Shout outs to Ramon. But they literally just emailed me out the blue, and they were like, "Yeah, we found your contact information. We'd like for you to be a DJ. We need you to shadow, yada yada yada." I was like, at first I was really sketched out. I was like, I'm about to get kidnapped or some shit.
Oh my God.
But nah, everything checked out, and now it's cool. Like, it just kind of goes to show you, like, it's really about the people you know.
100%.
So
that network is everything.
Networking is everything, and so I'm one of those people where my dad told me to just like literally shut up and just do hard work, even to my own detriment. But a lot of times it's really important to just like speak up and just talk to people, be friendly, get to know folks. And I think it had not been with my group of friends, I don't think I would be where I'm at. So, for sure. Like, I owe everything. I owe everything to the community around me. And I think building those sessions, just then keeping the integrity of where I can, has kind of helped me put myself in this position. So
100%.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you. So now you're pursuing DJ. In the past, I know your goals were like improving in dancing. For a small portion there, it was battling, but mostly it's been freestyle and learning new styles. Sewing, Twitch, whatever it is. I wanted to ask you if there have been like how often do you like encounter obstacles in your path, or do you feel like you have generally like a pretty like simple, like not a bumpy road to get to where you're going, or how often do you actually encounter obstacles and what those obstacles look like?
No, I for sure go through obstacles. I think a lot of it. I mean, obstacles can look like anything for me per se. Like it can look like not having enough time. It could look like being mentally stressed. Like I think, and you could probably attest to this. Like maintaining a lot of different maintaining a lot of different arts while also maintaining like your work life, while also maintaining relationships and bonds and stuff. Like it kind of like all takes a slice of the cake away.
Yeah.
So at times it's like I could be spread a little too thin, and I'm not in the. For me, I have to be in the mental space to be able to do certain things. Like I like to like really dial in, focus, kind of tunnel vision. I don't like no distractions and shit.
Yeah.
I don't like nothing taken away. Like it's hard for me to work on the art whenever I know I have like a cap to my time limit.
Yeah.
So that's why I always do all my responsibilities up front, so I can spend an unsolicited amount of time just fucking all the way off doing whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
But obstacles, let's see. I think some of the obstacles right now that I'm facing is just kind of like getting into the know-how. Like the biggest obstacle right now is still building up my life. I spent so much of my earlier life just training and focusing and investing everything to the arts, but like things like you're doing now, like networking or marketing or even just like being outspoken are things that I'm working on now. So it's more of a lot of a life obstacles, like not anything to do with the art itself. Like I'm steadily like diving into the arts, and like honestly kind of like DaVinci Resolve, it's not too hard for me to like look up a problem like, oh, how do I DJ transition from like 120 BPM to 80 BPM? That answer's out there. So it's like anything that's like troubleshooting like that, super easy for me. Yeah. But when it comes to like, okay, how do I not spend a whole day focusing on one negative comment that bothered the fuck out of me? You know, is more shit like that, and then
I just attack it.
Yeah.
I there've been a couple of times when like people have posted comments on my reels or shorts or whatever it is, and I immediately just put the camera on, like quote that, and I'm like, let's talk.
Let's fucking talk.
I think like the whole thing about giving negative, because I just talked about this on last week's podcast. Yeah. Because I was talking about like my content diet and everything, and I mentioned that I don't like negativity on my content diet. I don't like negativity in my feed. Banter is amazing. Like I love banter. I love playful shitting on people. Like and it's only you can tell when somebody's bantering because they know the person. They look like they know the person. But a lot of times you don't know the person, and I was like, why are you posting hateful comments on people you don't know?
Facts.
But so I don't necessarily. I agree with like not giving light to negativity, because if you give it attention, people feed off the negativity. The negative people feed off that attention, and then feel like they can do more of it. But at the same time, I like to give it the attention of like acknowledgement, but then I completely just attack it, because I'm just like, you're not going to win in this exchange. Like I'm not gonna let you post that and me not respond, but I'm not just gonna like type a comment to you. I'm gonna get on camera. I'm gonna attack what you just said, or I'm gonna like at least.
Are you saying tack? Like, what do you mean?
Attack. Like
attack.
Yeah.
Attack. Okay.
Because to me that's like if you stay aggressive with it, or if you stay like in front of it, then it can't hurt you. But if you say you're like, if somebody posts something like, what the fuck is this, or next time why don't you like some like negative thing or hurtful thing, it's just like, it'll stay with you unless you address it, right? Unless you acknowledge it. So if you just like look at it, type out your response, or I'll get on like I'll get on a video and like talk.
I think I remember when you first did that, like your first negative comment. Yeah, I think I remember you.
And I posted about that, and I was just like.
And then he responded back too, right?
Yeah. Well. So it was actually really funny, because there's two ways to do it, right? Because sometimes you don't know if someone's being like playful or not. Yeah. So there was a time when a guy was like, why do you read, or why should we be reading, or are you just like judging books by you just judge books by their cover? And I got on video and I was like, yes, I do, because that's the only way to judge a book without sitting there and standing for 5 minutes reading a book. Like you just look at the book cover, look at the premise, look at the book jacket, and you buy it if you want, or you get it if you don't. And I posted, he was like, bro, I was kidding. I was like, bro, don't worry about it. I'm just using it for content. And it's just really easy to flip that, because I didn't know he was being playful. I also didn't attack it. I just like talked and explained my point. And he's like, well, it was just a joke. I was like, completely fine. I just used you for content. I'll PayPal you later. And it's easy to brush it off like that then. But the thing is that I would not have known. No, it was a joke. The joke is like, I'll PayPal you later.
Okay.
For posting like.
I was about to say, hell no. What the fuck? That boy giving free money. Hey, I'm about to comment on your shit.
Comment on everybody.
You a bitch, alright? It sends me, puts $10 under the table. Thank you for the content, buddy. I'm fucking dead.
But it's one of those things like if you acknowledge it, you address it, then it's out of mind.
Yeah.
But if you let it like sit in your mind, you don't do anything about it. It's like chores that you haven't done. It's like this task that you haven't done today. It just stays in your mind. Like, oh, I need to do that. I need to go do that. I need to go do that. And your brain's like, oh, you haven't acknowledged this. Or you responded to this thing. So I'm going to keep it in my brain to remind you later about it. So you wake up the next day, man, that fucking comment. And it's like, bro, just go address it.
Yeah, that's what.
Like, people turn them off. I'm not popular enough to even turn off hateful comments. I let them run because I'm like,
fuck it.
Say it. Say what you want. Say your shit.
And that's what I've been doing lately. When we're talking about like obstacles, like when it comes to either my management at my 9 to 5 or just anyone that kind of says anything out of hand and that I feel like is in like a kind of like that orange to red zone of like, like and it kind of bothers you and you kind of like I always confront it now. I'm not a very confrontational person.
Same.
History will have it. History will tell it. I'm typically that person that just kind of like stays quiet and like fuck it all. I don't give a fuck. But it does cycle back and it does make his ugly face back into the center.
It also compounds internally.
Yeah, that too. And I also find it that like when you confront it, the opposite party always has something to explain a little bit more better. Yeah, and I'm gonna go on a bit of a rant, but like sometimes when like you get like I don't know a negative constructive comment, but it's not really that constructive. It's just more so negative.
Yeah,
I confronted it. I'm like, bro, please explain what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Please, like, go deep into it. And then they finally do, and it's nothing of what the original energy or intent was. 100%. It's like completely different. I'm like, okay, see, I confronted it.
Yeah.
You show what you're really talking about. Now we finally get him somewhere.
Right.
Objectively, it's a lot better.
Right.
So.
No, I agree. I'm really bad about that with my relationship sometimes because I just...
Me too!
I'm saying! It's one of those things where it's like, I do understand that phrasing is always important.
True.
But then I was talking to a friend of mine like months ago, and I was telling him how I was feeling. I was like, it sometimes feels difficult to always have to think about like phrasing every single time. Because the one time I don't, it could be taken wrong, and then I have to have a conversation. But sometimes like with specific like loved ones or whatever, you just want to just like talk and not have to think about like,
of course, sure.
Oh, did I say that right? Oh, was my tone off? Was my intonation off? Was my they didn't like this word, or did I use the wrong word, or whatever it is? You just sometimes want to have to think about that, because at that point, once again, you're like engineering a conversation where you're just like talking to somebody you love to talk to.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just feel like, I wish they would just understand what I mean versus me having to re-explain. Like they should understand that I did not mean it in that tone, or I did not mean it that way, even though I said it that way.
Right.
And not every time. I do understand there's times when you do say something and you're like, okay, yeah, that's my bad on me. Like I said that with the wrong tone that can sound annoyed, hurtful, frustrating, whatever it is, versus like I was not even in that mood. I just said something. There have been times I've been talking about Yushi and I'll like say something in a tone, and I'll hear that like, oh shoot, I'm sorry, I did not mean it to sound bad. I apologize. And she's like, that didn't sound bad at all. But then I'll say something at like a different time, will sound fine to me, and then maybe she won't like that tone.
Like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, I can't fucking win. But it's person to person.
It's super case by case.
But I think good on you, because also like I'm not confrontational at all.
No, trust me.
Only reason I've lasted 7 years with that Yushi is because she's always been like really good with communicating, and we have her like check-ins or like, hey, let's talk. And now I've been like a little bit more like real time talking. In the past, it's been like every couple of months, or every couple of months, and or on our anniversary day, we'll like sit down at night after dinner and just like talk feelings, how we're feeling, what we're doing, whatever it is. And that's like helped me improve my communication and my actual compassionate side of me. Because if I didn't have her, I'd be a completely different person right now.
Right.
But it is like sometimes you just want to like talk and not have to worry about like, did that sound bad? Which is why a lot of times, you know, I do like to talk. I do love to banter with the guys, because you can just say shit, and like a good amount of the times like we all know it's just like banter and it's just fun.
Yeah.
Versus like it's not like if I said that to somebody else who didn't know me, it could sound hurtful or it could sound like disrespectful or whatever it is.
For sure.
Like the amount of times like we just use bitch at each other or like fuck you.
Stupid
Or
old
like
bitch.
the amount of times that we flip each other off just in person.
Stupid old bitch.
I So my roommate in my apartment, right? I did that one time when he was just like saying something and I was like walking by him and I just flipped him off. He's like, "We just flipped me." I was like, "Yeah." I just said it so casually and I was like, "I'm so sorry."
Wait, you flicked him off or you called him a bitch?
No, I flipped him off.
Oh.
Just because like something because I thought like he said some bantery shit, I said some bantery shit, so I was like fuck you or whatever.
This bitch.
And then after that I was like, yeah, that's a case by case thing. Like I can do that to you and like Jacory or like Trent maybe, but like I can't do that to my roommate.
Arsh at the
like
fucking
that.
library.
Like,
Fuck you, bitch.
it's just so it's hard to like know the rules sometimes, like know the lines. And so I've been trying to figure out the lines a lot in the past couple of years.
That's me too. I think really I don't know, maybe I'm just a sensitive dude, but like when it comes to like banter, sometimes I oftentimes find myself getting like offended or even like my feelings trespassed, and I think that's a lot of times because I think I'm projecting my own insecurities onto like the outside world. So that's another life obstacle I'm also dealing with, is just kind of like getting more confident in the fact that like I could trust these people or just getting more confident in the fact that like it doesn't have to phase me that hard. Like it's not that deep. It's almost never really that deep.
It's really not.
A lot of times it's just a joke, or even then it's all in your own perception. It's all in your own like reality.
Yeah. And because it's your own, you can change it. Yeah.
That part. Like it's something about weird weeb reference, but like you just really got to control your own domain expansion.
100%.
Like make sure it's solid. Make sure you're solid of yourself, so that when someone says some shit that might pop off, it might be in that red zone, that it doesn't phase you at all. So yeah.
I'm saying I always tell Ayushi this because Ayushi just gets stressed very easily and feels like she has like a lot of responsibilities on her, and I have a lot of responsibilities on me, but I don't get stressed. Like people. I feel like a lot of times if I'm ever stressed or anxious, it's because I've been made to feel that way versus me naturally feeling that way. And that's just because over time I've just really honed in on what's my domain, like what's in my control, what's not in my control. Turning into then just always happy, always appreciative. I do falter a lot mentally with the content side because it's really hard to see like. Sometimes it's just annoying to see growth of somebody else, but not yourself. When you two are doing similar things, or you think they're similar things, or whatever it is. And then it's just like why them, not me, or what is wrong with me, or what is my problem, what is my issue, kind of thing. It stems from like you see the comparison, and then you start attacking yourself in terms of like what the fuck is wrong with you, like what am I doing, what's the issue. Why can't I succeed in this? And why can somebody else if I just did the same exact thing they just did? And I've talked about that before, where it's like everybody's different. So like somehow like their timeline gave them that then. My timeline is not giving me that right now. Yeah. Like, I can't rush it. If I rush it, I'll probably fall worse. But no, like being very calm all the time is really nice. Like I don't get angry. If I get angry or frustrated, it's because like it's something within my control that I can change. If it's not within my control, it's just disregarded. Like I was walking from physical therapy one time back home, and it just started like drizzling while I was like walking. I was sitting at the side. I was at the crosswalk, so I just like popped in an Asian squat. I was like low squat. I was like sitting there, and it started drizzling. And I started smiling. Because it was like, it's just rain. It's not going to hurt me. Life is too good to be upset about this. And so I just started smiling as it was just like walking and just walking in rain. And I think that experience, because I fucking hate rain, I hate water sometimes. And so I was like, life is just too good.
That man Arj actually smiling menacingly. He's like, okay, I'll get you back, Mother Earth.
Just
This looks stupid, bitch.
you fucking nature.
So when someone's just driving by, seeing Arch in the Asian squad on the street, like flicking the world off. Stupid whore.
I need that in a manga panel.
I'm fucking doing.
I want to switch gears real quick.
Please go for it.
So for the past couple of episodes, since I started reading this book, I've been pulling out a quote or a story or a kind of insight from this book. I think I told you about it, but it's Hidden Genius by Polina Marino Pompiano. She's the founder of The Profile, which is a long form media company, and she basically writes long form articles on interesting, successful people. And the way a profile works is you don't just interview the person. You read everything about the person without talking to the person themselves. You talk to people in their vicinity. You read books about them. You read articles about them. And you build a profile based on everything else you learned that wasn't from that person specifically.
Oh, that's cool as fuck.
Right? And sometimes you can get a deeper understanding of people by the way other people perceive them versus by how they perceive themselves. Basically, the lore. So she then wrote this book, basically detailing all the experiences and all the lessons and all the stories that she's learned over the years. So this one, I'm trying to find one that might be like nice for you. I've been tabbing shit out this book. I'm still not done with it because I keep tabbing more.
Tab the fuck out this bitch.
I really did. But there's a insight in here, and she's talking about Sarah Blakely, who's the CEO of Spanx, which is like an undergarment, like a leggings, like that kind of like apparel company. But it's talking about like unlocking healthy relationships. So she says in here, in good relationships, couples actively de-escalate conflicts by doing things like injecting well-timed humor into tense and difficult situations. Humor can lower the tension level of an argument, destroy the division between you and your partner, and remind you that you're human. So I love that for you and me. Because no matter what,
bro,
whenever Aisha and I are having serious conversations, I'm still joking. I still like add in a joke like at the end of like the conversation or at the end of like the theme. And I wanted to know like, do you also actively inject humor into like serious situations?
I feel like if it's like, I don't know, if I'm like, if it's just a situation where like my capacity is gone, sometimes I'm like not in a joking mood and I'm just gonna be like deadlock serious, and sometimes I'm in a funk. So sometimes that's where somebody else may interject and put some humor in there.
Yeah.
But if I have my if I have my wherewithal and I'm just like there,
Yeah.
then I'm probably gonna put some humor in there.
Yeah.
Sometimes in the quote though, it did say well timed.
Yeah, well timed.
I don't think mine's well timed. I feel like I be saying it at all the wrong times.
Honestly,
I could get home and like
Yeah.
maybe me and Delisa talk about some shit and like maybe I'm just not listening to her and she get mad at me. Then I'll say something stupid and she be like, bitch, who the fuck do you think you are right now? I'm like, I'm sorry.
This is not the time. I do the same thing.
It'd be something completely serious. I'm just a goofball. But that's because like I'm in my element. Like a lot of the times like when this could be my fault too, but a lot of times she be talking and I'm like listening. I'm also decompressing too. So like I might be on my games. I might be doing something. The humor did come out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
You're a goofy person. I get it.
It just be goofy. I'm a goofy dude, so that's how it come out. Yeah.
I get that. Same.
That's a great quote. I like that one.
I like that too.
Yeah.
So, okay. I think we're towards the end of today's talk. So I have 3 questions for you.
Hit it.
Rapid fire, okay?
Okay.
First one, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book? Right now, I'm reading a book by David Goggins that says "Can't Hurt Me."
Oh, you're reading Can't Hurt Me?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it because he, in the book himself, David Goggins. I don't know if he got like an editor to help publish his shit, but it's still pretty raw. Like it'd be, he'll talk in the book like I'm thinking it's gonna be a professional book, but he's like in the book, don't be little bitch.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh shit. Okay,
Yep.
I'm not gonna be no little bitch. But nah, yeah, I'm reading that one. It's pretty good. I like it so far, and it's not really like I mean, I guess someone could say it's a self-help, but it's like you kind of just like live. When I read a self-help book, sometimes it's like if it's super informational, that helps. Sometimes I'm looking more to live vicariously through someone else's experience, and I think his book Can't Help Me does that perfectly. Yeah. Like he's not really trying to tell you a form or formula to like get better. He's just saying like, this is what I did and this is what worked for me. Yeah, and I stopped being a little bitch because of it. Yeah, you know? So. Shout out to David Goggins, man.
Don't be a little bitch.
Don't be a little bitch.
Is there a place that you haven't been to that you'd like to visit?
Dude, so many fucking places.
All right.
The fuck, I live mostly in fucking Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
I recently went to Austin and found out that Austin looks like Dallas. Yeah, it kind of just looks like Dallas surfer cousin.
Yep.
Like just unkept,
Yeah.
just like wild. Anyways, but I'm not gonna lie. I watch a lot of YouTube shorts where they like show a lot of the local foods. So I definitely want to go to Tokyo. Definitely want to go to Seoul.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go a lot of the Asian places. I'm not gonna lie. Like I also want to go back to my own homeland, my own hometown, Vietnam. Want to see what that's about.
Where are you from in Vietnam?
My parents are actually. I'm from here, actually in America,
Yeah.
but I want to see where they came from. They were born near the capital, so near Saigon.
Okay.
But I want to visit that, and that's about all. I mean, I just want to see the world gradually.
Yeah.
Gradually. I want to see what Dubai talking about. They got fucking pet tigers and fucking pet bears and shit.
Dubai gonna be different, bro.
Bro, Dubai, like
Dubai's different, bro.
I saw an article that was like, don't do these things in Dubai. And it's like shake hands or some shit. I'm like, God damn, but like,
Kara's gonna go there. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, fucking peasant. Like,
arrest him.
get my pet bear to kill this man. I can't wait.
Oh
I
my
know
God.
I'm an active fool everywhere I go. So it's gonna be
I get
cool.
that. And then last thing, if money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing right now?
Dude, if money was not an issue right now, I'd be even more tunnel focused into everything I'm doing. Like if money wasn't an issue, I could have been throwing jams. I could be doing like DJ sets. I could be traveling. If money was not, Pete, let me say this one time for the one time. People say money is not the key to happiness. I like to beg a differ because it brings opportunities. It brings like different things. I mean, obviously don't get fixated on like just having money just to be having money, but like have it do things for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes, no, money is a key to then unlocking things to then give you happiness. Is the way
Yes.
I think about it. It is one of the keys
yes.
to unlock the door because I have a friend of mine who, their family is wealthy. And so they've told me that
Link me. No, I'm just kidding.
their family is pretty wealthy, but they keep saying, people think money is like everything, but I can tell you it's not. And I'm like, you can't say that because you haven't, but this person,
let me
this
talk to
specific
this man.
person isn't spoiled. Like they're the opposite. Like they actually like they work to try and pay for like their schooling, and then they, even though they have parents to pay it, like they work for themselves. They do their own stuff. They try and not to spend money unless they know they've earned it, or they can do it, or whatever it is, and they save and all that stuff. So they're specifically not spoiled. But it's like you can't say that because you can't say that to somebody knowing full well like everybody else who doesn't have money is stopping themselves from doing something because of the lack of money,
That part.
right?
Heavily.
Because I always feel like I need money only when I want to do something that I know I can't do because of the lack of money.
That part.
Wedding plan right now is really hard because of that. Going to see, like, it is a blessing that I got my job how I did. It pays very well. And I was able to go then fly to see Ayushi 2-3 times a year while she was in a different state. But while we were there or when I'm back here, and I think sometimes I'm like, oh, if I had X amount, this house feels great, but I obviously stretched myself to my limit to be able to be in this house.
You did have to push.
I had to push, as opposed to like if I had a little bit more, if I had a certain X amount, or just like a whatever it is, I would not be in a strange position. I'd be in a more comfortable position, which people don't know that about me. And yes, like I could have asked my parents, whatever. I could have asked them for help. I didn't want to. I wanted to do it myself and do it like by myself or with my like merit. And so it is definitely like I never feel like I need money until there's something I want to do that then my lack of money restricts it. Which is then how I got into content and then trying to sell things. And then basically I was like, I can't, because, okay, also to me, money is not the highest commodity, obviously, it's time.
Time. Always time.
It's always time. And so I realized that like I'm I'm way more selfish with my time than I am with my money.
For sure.
Which then causes me to throw more money away to then keep my time to myself. Yeah. But I never realized my need. I never have a need for money until I want to do something that I can't do because now I don't have the money for it.
It's like those fucking gacha games. Oh boy, they love giving you a stamina limit. Damn. They love giving you a stamina, but you slip them $10, you get 10 more hours or some shit like that.
Damn. I had to stop gaming because of that.
It's like that. I don't ever want to fixate on money just because that's the crutch of everything, but it gets me to where I need to be going. Like literally, I got stuck in Austin, the Greyhound. Like for instance sake, this actually happened though. But on the way back from my DJ gig from Electricity Jam in Austin, shouts to D-Chaw, I was taking a Greyhound there and back. Yeah, the Greyhound bus driver literally rage quit on the way back. Stopped at a station and just rage quit. She said she was complaining about the people who I guess was making noises in the bus. Long story short, she rage quit. Literally walked out, left us stranded. It was going to take another driver from Dallas to get to where we were in Waco to then take us back. But because then I had money right then and there and I have a credit card and credit score looking great, I was able to take a Uber from Waco to Dallas, Texas and save I already lost time, but lose less time. Yeah. That would have been, I probably would have been home by midnight. Yeah. As opposed to 8 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
But nah. If money was, if money was not an issue, I'd be doing so much right now. So fucking much.
Please sleep.
Will Smith, if you see me, please donate. If someone rich, famous.
If somebody famous looks at this, please donate money to Alan's DJ fund.
Look, my soul is burning bright, man. Trust.
We are hungry people.
I came from the streets of Garland, so look, let me tell you, if you invest in me, you're gonna get it back tenfold. All right. That's
fair.
You're gonna get it back tenfold.
No memes aside, Canvas works hard. Hard as fuck.
I work.
Works hard.
If anyone hears this, man,
works harder than me. So Canvas works hard as fuck.
I don't want to say all that.
But
I don't want to say all that.
Last thing. Maybe last thing, who knows? Okay. We just keep talking. But before I ask this last thing, I just want to let you know that before I even started this podcast, I knew I wanted to start podcasting, right? And I went to Canvas, I was like, listen, given our conversations, I want to start a podcast just called Absolute Buffoonery, where basically this goes on every week.
Awesome shit, yeah.
It's still in the bank. Nobody take that idea, cause we gonna come up and do that.
No one's gonna take it anyway.
But last thing. Do you have any questions for me?
Do I have any questions?
Just imagine sliding that decibel level down.
Let's see. You probably gonna have to do that multiple times throughout this interview.
That's fine. That's why I wanted to do it right now. So I can edit it the entire weekend before I go to on Sunday.
Okay, beautiful. Do I have any questions for you? Let me see. First and foremost, get the cliches out the way. Are you happy? Are you straight? You good? Not straight as in sexual orientation. I mean, if you're gay, hey, it's a great time. Usually, we got a lot to tell you. Got a lot to bring up in this podcast, man.
No, I'm very happy. Because I see happiness as the baseline. So I have currently nothing is making me unhappy. So I am just happy. I just got back from a trip with Ayushi when we went on a road trip, and we went from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania down to Frisco. So my geography is ass. So I was like, oh yeah, Pennsylvania's on the east, but it's northeast, up there by where Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, all those northeast, 13 original colonies kind of shit right there, right? So it was 22-hour drive back. Oof. And when we were planning this, it was either the drive back or she ships her car down for $1,000. And she was like, well, we can make a road trip out of it and still save a couple $100 on the trip total if we just make a road trip out of it. So I was like, yeah, I don't like driving. I hate driving. Don't like road trips, but I love my life. I'll do that. I'll do whatever. So we went to Gatlinburg first. This is a place I was telling you, I was like, I want to come here with Camus and Delisa.
Why?
Because it's like an amusement park strip. So like shops everywhere, things to do, and there's they take you on a gondola ride through the Smoky Mountains, like up top.
Really?
And you get to see like a high point and like the landscape around. There's still stuff to do up top, like zip lining, ropes courses, etc. And so I was there and I was just hanging out with her and everything. And I was super fucking happy. And I was happy because a lot of the times, like when she comes on here, she stays with her family and then comes to visit me at this house or at my apartment. When I go up to visit her, a lot of the times it's like in her Airbnb or wherever she's staying, so she might have roommates. So we're never really together in a place that's our own and we can just be ourselves, like unhindered. But when we go on these trips and when we like have these solo experiences, it is just us unhindered, which is what I love. Like I hate people getting in my way to do something, right? Like don't get in my way to do something, otherwise I will push through and then you won't like the outcome. So I just love that we were together unhindered, and that's what makes me happy. And that's why I'm really happy right now is because we just had 3 days just us.
It's quality time.
Super quality time.
Super quality time. Just a shit ton of open eye experiences too. I can only imagine.
Right. And I wanted just to go there and like hang out. I didn't really want to do a lot of things, so we didn't really zip line that time. I didn't really go on the ropes courses or whatever.
Just there.
And because I also did not know what to expect until we got there. Because you're like, yeah, there's like a gondola ride of the Smoky Mountains. Okay, I was like, okay, cool. It's probably like we stay in this hotel, we drive like 10 minutes somewhere and just do a ride. No, this entire strip. Like, have you ever been to Niagara Falls? Go there too. But it's like a whole like strip, shops to eat, a shit ton of gift shops, like malls, things to do, etc. So we just looked around everywhere. We didn't do much because I was more in a looking and chilling mood than like a doing mood. And I told her, I was like, that's why I was like, I'm just in like a very like chill mood right now. Like we don't feel like doing a lot of things. I would have to plan a trip back here, maybe with friends. It'd be a little bit more fun. And then I would have to like maybe like be more like foolish, be more like doing things, etc.
Some dumb shit.
Basically do some dumb shit. But I'm super happy. Work's been rough. I'm not 100% straight right now. Life-wise, I'm 100% straight sexually.
That boy gay as fuck.
I want to zoom in on your face when you say that. But I just was doing way too much with life this year, and I'm still 25. I told you, like I'm still throwing shit at the wall. I would highly recommend getting one of those posters, by the way, just for you. You would love that thing.
Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
But I'm getting to where my life is straightening out, lining out. Just a lot of stuff's happening. Obviously, wedding planning work, side work, starting side work, like side hustle, side business, whatever it is, and doing all that at once just isn't sustainable. So I spread myself too thin, plus house stuff. Like I have to decide in certain months, do I do things for the house or do I do other things? Or do I just lose money and do both? So it's been tough like that. There's a man who always walks down my street shirtless, fucking Chad, ripped, like pectorals out the ass.
Giga Chad right there.
Walking with his like water in his towel. It's like I have to take a brisk walk, not just like sauntering. He's like has an agenda. Like I'm getting these laps and getting these steps in.
Are y'all like rivals?
No, because I never walk when he's walking, but I do also like to walk shirtless outside. Vibe. It's amazing.
Something about the open breeze and
the sunlight, everything. Where it's sunscreen, but like sunlight, everything. It's great, but yeah, I'm super happy. But life is a little bit unstraightened right now. I'm trying to straighten it out.
I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Remember that time you called me? I'm just kidding, y'all. But no, the real question. Why don't you want
to bleep that out? But just know he used a slur.
I said it.
I'm bleeping it out again.
I said it. I'm him.
But it's an Asian racial slur. But oh my god.
It's gonna sound like that one episode of SpongeBob. But nah, man, that's it, man. Thank you for having me on.
course.
It's been a pleasure, bro.
Appreciate it.
Is it okay to?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it...
Don't break it.
Bitch.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the End Goal Podcast. This was episode 10. This is the end of the season. I'll be back in a couple of months with season 2. We're just with new people, new topics. Hopefully by then I will have shown you, or I'll have more experiences to share with you guys. I did tell you guys that I was gonna share with you one of my newest projects, and the one that I actually had in mind when I made that bet was actually not done. It's the intention journal, but I can tell you one that is coming out in a couple of months, probably around like the end of the month, or maybe sometime in September. It's called Fableware. So Fableware is a apparel company that's based on
I got you, bro.
cozy, bookish apparel, and by bookish I mean minimal bookish apparel. This is Fableware, right? So the idea is just minimal, comfortable clothing with some really cute, cozy, fun designs on the front, Fableware logo on the back.
Look at that shit.
And all these, like the one that I'm wearing, fucking love Mug Kid. Kid Mug. I love him. I can't say Mug Man because that's copyrighted from like Cuphead.
Oh.
But this is Kid Mug.
Look at
I
that
love him. He's my favorite design actually. I have like 12 designs in the bank. But Fableware is the newest venture, and it's something that I'm going to keep continuing, hopefully throughout the years, and just letting it grow and grow and grow. It's not live yet, but it'll be an Etsy shop, and so I'll post all that stuff when it actually goes live, over on my Instagram at Intro Archives, and over on Threads at Intro Archives, TikTok Intro Archives. Basically, go all those places to find out when it's actually going to be launching, and maybe I'll do a special episode in between seasons to talk about the launch. And if so, come back right here, subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss it. I'm super excited about this. It's like I said, it's going to be bookish stuff, and it's going to be actually related to other books. Like this is just one type of design, which is the graphic logo on the back. I have another design idea in the bank. I don't want to tease it just yet. But it's based on like actual novels, and it'll be like themed around certain novels. So I hope you guys will enjoy that too. It'll be in crew neck, it'll be in long sleeve, and it'll be in short sleeve. So whatever you want.
Options.
I do want to say this has been a really interesting. I might take a little bit more of your time, but I do want to say this has been a really, really fun experience because my first Etsy shop failed like earlier in the year, or not. I do say you don't fail unless you don't learn anything. Like everything is an experience and a learning experience. So you don't fail if you don't learn.
It was a learning experience, boy. It's a learn it. Okay, I'll stop.
This is legitimately our natural dynamic. This is not for the camera, I promise you. But me partaking in this venture because I was like, I've always wanted to do something with apparel, and I had an idea for a sock brand back in a couple of years ago.
Oh, I remember that.
It never went anywhere. I still have like the sample in my closet, but like it never went anywhere. And I was like, maybe just apparel isn't for me. Or maybe I don't want to like do what everybody else is doing. But just throughout the year, I was like, fuck it. I like to do things for myself and then do it for other people, right? That was a to-do list. That was this journal that I'm making. It's for myself, then just for other people. This apparel, like I'm making this to wear. And then I'm also like making it for other people to wear. So it's been a really great experience just being able to make the designs, do all the work, and I usually along the way the entire time, I actually was able to like be serious with her yesterday and say like, thank you so much for being with me this entire time, because she has her externships. She's working like 10, 12 hours a day, and she still comes home and like we always talk at night because we can't talk during the day, and she's still open to like, if I'm like, hey, do you mind looking at this design for me? What do you think? What do you think about the design, the colors, where it's set? Like she's been with me the entire time, and then I could take these like mock-ups and these models and send it to the guys, and everybody I've sent it to has said this is dope. Let me know when it drops, and so I'm super excited about the launch of this because I really think the launch is going to be really good, and then being able to make this kind of stuff I can wear this on camera for my like book videos and my stuff like that, right? I can make those really fun musical edits that I've been wanting to make, but I never could make them because I was like, I don't have a reason to make them. Like, I'm not wearing anything special. I'm not doing anything special. But combining books with this apparel launch, and then with like, I feel like I'm creating a circle with everything. So like everything feeds into itself, and everything benefits the other something else. It's been really, really amazing experience that I definitely would not have been able to do if I didn't try that one that didn't work early in the year. And I've been taking this one super slow. Like I know a lot of people like say with this new information age, with the speed of information, you want to do things quickly, you want to turn around things quickly, you want to churn quickly. But if you're doing something for the first time and you're really, really passionate about it, just take your time with it nowadays, right? Like, because taking your time with it, taking your time is its own commodity. And so I think it's really, really special to be able to do that. And like I said, Fableware is coming out in a couple of months. I will have all the samples and I'll show you guys everything. I'll get on camera and I'll show you guys all the merch, all the designs. It's not linked to me, right? There's no intro about it. It's specifically Fableware because it's separate from me. Specifically because I don't want it to be linked to my like quote unquote brand that I'm building.
It's almost like a sub brand within a brand.
Yeah. And so I hope to do more through that. And so if you enjoy this episode of the podcast, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next season, I'm hoping to bring more people on. This season was just about me starting the podcast, getting used to the layout, getting used to the format, being consistent with it, which I have been consistent with it every single week, plus posting every single day on media, and it's been a really great experience. Season 2 will be out probably around December because I'm gonna be gone I'm gonna be gone in November. So maybe December through like February or March will be the next 3 months of the season. So look forward to that. If you want to find me, once again, Entro Archives on Instagram, the End Goal Podcast on Instagram, Entro Archives everywhere else, Entro Arch on Twitter. But have a great rest of your day, your week. I hope in these next few months you're able to accomplish your goals, get closer to your end goal. I'm going to be working with this goofball on his end goal, obviously. I'm going to be making sure he's straight, he's right, and...
I'm gay.
All right, bye, folks.